Happy Saturday, February, we're on, right? Heck yeah, we're on. Happy Saturday, February 10th, 2018. On the slate today, we have quite a few things. We have what's in the bag, achievements and accomplishments. The Hyroad Nano gets its 2-month report card that it should have gotten last week that I forgot all about, so we'll get to that this week. And then I wanted to have a discussion about marketing and advertising. I promise that won't be boring, though, because I want your feedback or for you to just agree with me because I'm right, and there's some things that have been pissing me off, so it should be fun. First of all, I have a special announcement. We've talked about Angel joining in on the Sonic and Drive reviews the last couple weeks. It worked out for now. I wasn't sure going forward how often it was going to be an option. Again, twice the balls, twice the cost, just not really in the realm of possibility right now, despite what an obviously great addition she was. However, Storm saw the videos, they saw the comments, they saw the support, all the positivity, and they have stepped in to guarantee that Angel will be able to be in every single review video going forward. Not only that, but they'll also be supporting the channel in other ways as well, so what I'll be able to offer now is even more than just adding Angel to the reviews. I should be able to do bigger and better things, so I'm really pretty excited to start thinking up all kinds of stuff that we can do here. Hopefully we can get some new equipment soon, or really just kind of upgrade some of the stuff I have now, specifically my camera. For now, still just some small steps, but some of the bigger goals that I've had in mind for a while, some of the stuff I've been working towards, they actually look like they're in the realm of possibility now. So a small step in general, but a big step in the right direction with some clear objectives. I definitely appreciate it, and I'm sure that they would if you would take a few seconds to thank them in the comments below. Because you're who they did it for. Yeah, I make the videos, but they don't do any good with anybody to watch them, and not only am I deeply grateful to Storm for making this happen, but we aren't anything without everyone that watches and buys all these epic and sweet smelling balls, so you all really deserve a huge amount of credit. All the sappy stuff aside, this just means a whole lot more awesome, funnier opinion videos, and all of it quite possibly in 4K. What's in the bag? I'm carrying the Sonic, the IQ Tour Solid, the Matchup Hybrid, the All Out Show Off, the Hectic, and the Intense. This is likely to stay like this for a while. I've got all my bases covered here. I'm very happy with the way that these all stack and work together. I've got several different hook potentials, several different shapes. It's just a great lineup. The new IQ Tour I drilled is actual stupidity. It makes no sense. I have a problem, though. I haven't been paying enough attention in League. I kind of get trapped just having fun throwing stuff and get caught up in my equipment, and instead of taking time to make good decisions and good shots, I sub in my wife's Friday Night League every now and then, and for some reason I actually pay attention. My average is over 20 pins higher subbing than it is in my regular leagues for really no reason other than that. Some of you watched my live stream from League last night. That was kind of fun. I'll talk about that in a minute. But we're going to go into the report card for the Hyroad Nano right now. It keeps hopping in and out of my bag, but once again, going back and watching my review, I stand by what I said. Now, after a few games, it becomes more angular, though. It's definitely one of the most angular balls that I've seen with the Nano cover. If you watch my drive review and compare it to my original review, I have some comparison shots of the Hyroad Nano in the drive review. You should see quite a bit more shape out of it in the drive review. It hooks about the same, maybe a board or two less, but it's a little bit longer and stronger rather than being earlier and smoother. So it's got some lane shine on it and developed a nice track, so I actually like the reaction more now than I did when I made the review video. I have quite a bit more confidence in the ball's ability on a house shot now. I definitely don't just think it's a sport condition ball anymore. It's kind of morphing into the ball that we all hoped that the Hyroad Solid would have been in the first place. So while I do stand by what I said in my review, it's become a bit more angular with some lane shine, which obviously makes it more viable on a regular league shot. Still a strong ball, though. Don't get to use it very often, and I have such great reactions out of what I'm throwing at my league houses right now that I really want to throw it but shouldn't. My Intense and All Out Show Off own the house that I film the videos at, and my Hectic owns the other house. And by the way, thanks to all that joined my live stream of League the other night. Once I got the video quality issues sorted out, which is really just turning off the Wi-Fi and using the LTE, that ended up being a lot of fun. I had I think 30 to 40 of you watching most of the time, and a lot of questions, a lot of interaction. It just made League a whole lot more fun. So It wasn't the greatest night of league, but again, my problem is that I want to throw a bunch of stuff that I really shouldn't. The Hectic owns that house. It's all I should throw there. There's no reason I should ever pull any other ball out of the bag the entire night. It doesn't matter. But anyway, still good vibes from the Hyroad Nano, so if you've been interested in one, it's held up well and it's gotten even better for me, and I like it. Achievements and accomplishments. Again, if I miss you, apologies. Some of the comments don't show up in my notifications, and I'll see them days later, like, where'd you come from, and why didn't I see you? So if I missed you, just comment again, and hopefully it'll work this time. CH Bowler 11 shot his high set recently of 791 with a hot cell, said he needed the first one in the 10th, and stoned a 9-pin with urethane, of all things. So that's still pretty cool, and if nothing else, just makes you appreciate how hard 800 is. George Mathis says he's made a ton of money with the Hustle Inc. No shocker there. Not only am I the president of the fan club, I'm also a client. So yeah, it's great. Very happy for George. That's when bowling is fun, when you're doing well and making some money too. So all good things. He's also headed to Nationals for the first time this year. At least that's how I read it. And that's a ton of fun regardless of how you do, really. It's definitely an experience. Ben Roberts got a no rules Pearl, and his first 3 games with it were 250, 199, 267. So that's a nice set. I'll take that any day of the week. Taylor Jacobs started bowling in July of 2015, had an early wrist injury and had to start throwing the ball two-handed. Shot 300 last September, followed that up with an 807 the next week, and then added an 804 a month later. So that's a bunch of good stuff all at the same time, so congratulations to him too. By the way, our next beer frame is going to be a discussion about two-handed bowling, so should be very interesting considering the differing opinions about it, so to speak. Matt Zegarelli shot 298, 278, 299 for an 875 with an Onyx Vibe. That's completely nuts. As far as the Vibe thing goes, yeah, I'm a Storm guy. Yeah, I have a contract. Yeah, I promote and advertise the stuff. But if it says Vibe, Black Widow, or Game Breaker on it, or is a Venom Shock, you get a pass because, let's be real, I'd be flat out lying my ass off if I didn't give them their due credit. That'd be no different than if somebody from another company tried dogging on the Hyroad, and I'll get into this later in my advertising and marketing stuff, but 875 is a heckin' number with anything, so it's just hard for me to even conceptualize. Making that many good shots, staying ahead of the moves, and keeping that same roll on it to continue to get the pins down frame after frame is absolutely a skill you can't teach. So epic set, Matt, way to go. And also, by the way, he shot 804 with an IQ Tour Pearl a couple of weeks ago too, so 800s everywhere. Josh Flackbart, or Flockbart, hopefully I pronounced that right. Believe me, I know the feeling if I didn't. But Josh is only 16, broke their school record with a 2-game set of 538 at a high school meet. Games were 249 and 289. That 289 is also his personal high. Too bad there wasn't a third game to see what he could add on, but it's still a great achievement anyway. Another high schooler, Stephen McClellan, said his entire team is two-handed, and they've only been together a year, but are conference champions and moving on to counties, so nice job there too. Basic Drummer Man is another two-hander who averages 159 but picked up a pitch black and had his high game and series of 256 and 670, so those are really big numbers for somebody with that average. Jason Hollenstein had his highest series ever of a 299 739. It was also his first 30 clean. Always love when that happens too. That's the trophy I really want at Nationals. Hopefully this year is the year, but it was, you know, like I said, it was first time going 30 clean, so that's a pretty big personal feather in the cap. Jason 290 shot 290 with a code black at age 12. That's a really big game for that age. Bart LaFaso shot 289 with his new code red, and that will do it for the achievements this week. I may have to condense this a little. I'd love to give everybody a little bit more time or a little bit more of a shout out than just kind of naming stuff and putting the number with it, but so many of you are doing so well that this is going to start taking forever to get through this. Not like that's a bad thing at all, but trying to balance this could prove to be a little difficult. That leads into the marketing and advertising discussion. A user on Reddit a few days ago raised an issue with me posting my videos there. It said it could appear to some that I was there to just kind of spam and self-promote. He didn't have a problem with me. Apparently, there was just kind of some inconsistency there between how I was treated and how others have been treated in the past. But specifically because I'm not very active there, so I really am not on Reddit much. It's become a lot of just checking notifications everywhere I post at every hour or so. Sometimes it's hard just keeping up with notifications, let alone participating in anything. Now, the whole reason I do what I do is specifically not to be like that. I don't want to just drop advertising everywhere and then run off. I can't stand that. I'm not really a big fan of the whole hashtag movement, if we're being perfectly honest either. I mean, just because what happens is somebody drops a bunch of propaganda, they hashtag a bunch of stuff, and then they disappear because they're just into doing as little as possible to get cheap stuff. So, but most of the time, here's what happens. Whenever you start doing something, somebody starts something because they want to be different. They want to offer better services or a better product. And so it starts from a really good place and then takes off because of the focus on the product and on service, specifically care for the customer. It really resonates with people. I mean, we're all important. Our money's important. And when we feel like someone's offering us a fair exchange for what we're giving them, that's what everybody wants. At some point, though, things start turning corporate because you grow, and when you grow, the personal touch and all the things that help you build start to slowly become lost. You're a business now with responsibilities. All of a sudden, you have to keep making money, and it becomes about dollars and cents and bottom lines and all the stuff that's necessary to keep growing and keep going. But everyone kind of forgets why they started and what they did specifically that spurred the growth in the first place. Or you employ people that they're worried about getting their bonuses or their paycheck, and not so much about what they're actually doing. They may not share kind of your passion and your drive for the company and what you do for everybody. Then quite often a corporation will fall out of grace for kind of becoming a machine. Things will go downhill, and in the midst of soul searching, they'll rediscover what made them a thing in the first place, and the roller coaster just moves on. Now, I want you guys to keep me in check. If anything ever starts sounding too over the top or too corporate, just nail me on it. I go over the top intentionally sometimes, but it's really just for laughs and to kind of break it all up. The Sonic Opinion video and my kind of random digs at Ebonite every once in a while. It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. I would hope that, like the whole thing with Diana Zavyalova and the spoiler video and my intense parody, that's supposed to be fun. She put something out, I threw something back. She dug a little bit at me about it, but it was just all in good fun. I think stuff like that needs to happen more often. But I'd rather just not do this at all than to turn into some kind of machine or something that's just trying to sell you something so that I can get stuff. That's not the point. It keeps getting busier and busier, but heck it. I believe this is the right way to do it, and that's just kind of that. So I'm kind of interested in what your feelings are on the marketing and the advertising that all the companies are doing right now. Do you feel like they listen to you? Do you feel like they even pay attention to you? Do you feel like they have your best interest in mind, or are putting out stuff that you're asking for, that you're wanting? Like, what do you like about what the companies are doing and how they're bringing you the information, and what do you not like? Criticism is good as long as it's constructive, as long as it's with the intent of making something better. Sometimes you may not always know the inner workings of something, and so sometimes it's easy to say, well, I'd really like you to do this, but it's something that they've already thought of, or it just either doesn't work out the way that it seems like it should, or it's just not really a possibility at the moment. But advertising is part of the deal, though. They make something new, and most of it's just making sure you know about it. You can't buy it if you don't know about it. So it's not always about moving units. A lot of it gets heavy-handed, but sometimes it's like the legendary Doritos Super Bowl commercials. Yeah, they want to advertise their product. Yeah, they want you to buy Doritos, but there's a big difference to me between selling something and making you want to buy something. If you've ever been sold something when you weren't sure that you wanted anything, or were just looking around and somebody's actively put on the full court press on you to squeeze money out of you, and then you walk away with that kind of half-sick feeling like, yeah, I bought something, but I'm not really sure I wanted to. The sales guy sounded so enthusiastic, though, and I didn't want to tell him no. I really just bought it to shut him up in the first place. But that's being sold something. I don't think anybody really likes that. On the other hand, you make a hilarious commercial or do some really clever marketing, and yeah, the intent's the same, to sell product, but they're earning it, and they want you to have fun with them. They make a great product, and they just want to share it with you. These commercials make me want Doritos because they put the effort in. They made something awesome. I like the commercials. I want to keep seeing them, so I'm going to keep buying Doritos so that they can keep spending millions on Super Bowl ads because I really enjoy them and because they make a great product that I like. All of a sudden, I'm a really big fan of Tide. Like, they won the Super Bowl commercial contest hands down. We got Tide Pods all over the place here now. For laundry, though, not for eating. As it turns out, they really don't taste that great. So I don't want to see some marketing machine nonsense like the as seen on TV stuff. No, those are actually funny, not intentionally, I don't think. But come on, I want information and entertainment. I don't want to feel pressured or guilted or tricked into something because somebody in the advertising department knows that they really have a garbage product, but they have to work angles to sell it because all they're after is a bigger bonus. Didn't mean to turn this into a lecture on integrity, but integrity is a big buzzword in bowling, so hashtag integrity, let's just go with it. That's all for this week. I think I'm actually going to do the Patreon thing, by the way. I spent the last week trying to figure out what I want to do, what I actually can do, and what it's worth and everything, and I'm going to run it all by you before I launch it in the first place to make sure everything's all kosher and agreeable. But it'll probably still be a bit before I get all the details out and go live, so to speak. Speaking of going live, don't forget that our first live stream is tonight. Tonight, if you're watching this on the day I posted it anyway, which is Saturday, February 10th. But tonight, Saturday, February 10th, at 8 p.m. Central, we are doing Beer Frame Live. It's an AUA, so it's a Ask Us Anything. Hopefully we can all have some fun. I imagine there will be some bugs to work out too, so would appreciate your patience in that event. Of course, maybe it all goes perfectly and there was no reason to even say anything. So anyway, that's what I've got for now. Thanks for watching.